following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Let's go to Marty in Worcester, Mass. Hey, Marty, what's going on?
Hi, Mr. O'Brien. Got a quick little thing here.
Yeah?
It's called patience and perseverance.
Okay.
Patience. I heard a goddess yelling, the magic silent word, and methinks I must be smelling pokey money round the world. Perseverance. When markets roil like stormy seas, good traders seek safe port. In financial times like these, you need Tom O'Brien's gold report.
You are too much, Marty, man. That is so cool. Well, listen, man, I really appreciate that.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. We got a special day out here today. My son Tom's right next to me, and he did his, we did our first show together this morning, the Bull and Bear Binary Option Hour.
We did.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
It was a good show.
Yeah. You know, folks, I started the show off talking about my grandmother's house playing cards.
Yeah.
But it's a fact. Do you know what I mean? It's in the DNA. There's no doubt about it.
Sure.
No doubt about it. Well, let's go over the market first, and we'll talk about what's happening. Dow Industrials are up 170 right now. Nasdaq's up 56. S&Ps are up 20. We have the gold contract down $7.90, traded $1,174 an ounce. Silver's off a penny at $16.13. We got copper up 4 pennies at $2.93 a pound. Light sweet crude's off 44 cents at $59.19 a barrel. Bonds, you have the 10-year down 18 ticks, 127.26. 30-year off 127, almost 2 points at 157.23. And King Dollar up 686 ticks, trading at 95.40. The euro is down 27 at 111, and the yen is up 88 at 120.25. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. I know what's going on in your world. We'll start with the world of the S&Ps. We're going to talk about bonds for a second, though. Okay. Those bonds got smoked yesterday.
Yeah.
They had a high-volume swing low. They're getting tested today. I suspect we're going to probably get some kind of a bounce out of here. And why, folks? Because the energy on the way down, it's going into the March 6th level. And that March 6th level, I will take some more cause in order to break that down. If we take a look at the S&Ps, what we have happening with the S&Ps is this. Yesterday, you go south with big volume. We are doing 70 million shares right now. We did downtown yesterday, 161 million. So you get a typical bounce. On the weeklies, it's going to, the weeklies really don't say much. When we put this on a weekly, it's like, okay, you're still at the highs. That's the real bottom line. Yeah. You get an expansion volume, but hey, you're still at the highs. NDX 100. We take a look at the 3 Qs, the NDX 100. What you have with the NDX 100. NDX 100 right now trading up 121. You have 23 million shares. We came downtown on 44 million. So the aspect between the SPYs and the Qs, folks, more than likely you have a probable B to C of an ABC structure on the way down. You came off the highs with volume. You're bouncing now with lighter volume. Small caps. The small caps are basically given the most amount of information. I mean, those things got killed yesterday. So the small caps yesterday, folks, came down with 73 million shares. You're going up today with 32 million. Bottom line is that these lows that were established out there in December, they're game. Gold contract. We take a look at gold. What do we have with gold? Bottom line, it wasn't a disaster out here. They brought gold down pretty good yesterday. Big volume. What we did have out here today, we're at 1174.50 and 1176. Well, so this is what you have. Your swing point here is 1174.10. But the way that she's out there, 1174.50, I would have much rather that she got over the lows of yesterday versus today. because what you had is this. Okay, you did break the swing, and you did with lighter volume. Today we've only done 107,000. Where your support comes in is going all the way back to how we came off the bottom on March 18th.
Yeah.
That level March 18th, had some action. Now, let's go over to the dollar, because what we had done this morning, what Tom had done this morning, is that when we were doing the program, the Nadex program live, and if you haven't test drove the Nadex product, folks, come over to our website at TFNN. You'll see the Nadex banner on the top, and on the side, you can bring that platform up. They'll put $25,000 of paper money into your account, and you can start trading that. When we were doing the program this morning, bottom line is that we felt that this dollar was basically, doing a dead cat bounce, and sure enough, the setup was pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
First show, first trade, profitable trade.
I know, man.
That works out well.
Congratulations.
Hey, I got some good help, you know.
And it's May 1st.
It's May 1st.
I like that. It's May 1st, too. I know.
Have a good month.
There's no doubt.
Nice volatile month.
Yeah. There's no doubt there's that whole saying, sell in May and go away.
I know.
And, statistically, I don't know if that's true or not, but the bottom line is that it seems that when May does start, volatility does start going right up until October, and then things can calm down. You know, so we'll see where that shakes out. But there's no doubt when we take a look at the euro, because what the trade was, folks, is that the trade was shot in the euro, and the way that the baby played out was pretty cool, because it was like a small ABC structure down for the euro, and it was a small ABC structure on the way up for the dollar index. And this is so check this out, because I suspect all this actually is a dead cat bounce too. The aspect of an equity getting killed day after day after day. In this case, the dollar. Bottom line is that all we did is come up to ice.
Yeah, we just looked for a risk reward.
Right.
We said, the probability that this can have a bounce today with what's happened is worth it, especially in the trade that we put on, getting pretty much 3 to 1.
Yeah, it's 3 to 1, and the risk, you'll put up $60, right? How much you put up?
It was $56 for a max loss.
Okay.
For a max profit of 194. It was a 250-point euro-US dollar spread.
Right.
So when a 250-point, every point's going to be $1.
Okay.
So depending on where you are in that spread, your risk reward goes accordingly. So,
right.
So, we were being a little speculative, paying a small premium in order to get risk reward in our favor. Where there could have been, we thought, a good pop, where if that thing really moves, we make the full $250 if that gets to the bottom of that spread.
Right.
And we're only risking $56.
And out of the $56, we had to make up like $4 to $6 of the spread, right?
Of premium that we were paying.
And the $4 to $6, folks, on ticks, that's very easy.
It's really interesting. It's not even a spread. There is a spread, but it's a short premium. And you're paying the premium because you're capped at your losses at 56 and your winnings are capped at 194. So you can't enter that trade at market and get 3 to 1 on your money. You need to pay a small premium. And
we did this at 10 o'clock this morning. We had till 3 o'clock this afternoon.
So what time was it exactly? It was about 10:30. 10:25, 10:30 was exactly for the 10 o'clock show, but when we put it on. And it was good. It was right at about break even when we left at 11.
Right.
And the plan was to leave it on, so we left it on until 3 o'clock. And at the end of it, it executed. And for that $56, we got back $77.90. So you're talking about $21.90 in profit with only $56 at risk. And you had a lot more profit that you could have made. And that's what you have to keep in mind. You're not.
And then the commissions were 90 cents on each side, right?
90 cents for each contract on each side. So just over $20 in profit for $56 risk.
Congratulations.
Not bad. No, it worked out well.
I
got some good help.
I love you doing the show with me,
man.
Man, Mitch, now I can retire now. No, I can't retire now.
Not happening, Mitch.
No, now we're gonna do more shows, Mitch. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rock and roll here, man. The reality, folks. So check this out. The reality is that mathematically and probability-wise, he's about 8,000 times better than I am.
I learned from him.
Yeah, but he is. There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt, okay? There's no doubt about that, which is awesome, man. I mean, that's how it's supposed to work, right?
Deal.
Every generation is supposed to get better.
I got a good teacher, man.
That's how it's supposed to go, man. So let's take a look at this market, man. Okay, so, the market itself, folks, okay, it's going to get really interesting watching this whole thing shake out. Because each and every time, well, you know this better than anyone because you're right next to me all the time. Each and every single time the market goes down, the bulls always bring it back.
I was thinking, look at the volatility yesterday and today.
Right.
200 points, 200 points.
Right.
That's what I was saying earlier is like if you have days that are up or down in the full span of a full spread.
Yes.
That's a huge move because you can get such, we were looking at a spread today, 18-to-1 risk reward.
Right.
It's like if you can get those types of moves where you actually have the possibility to get the full move of the spread.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. Well, listen, man, congratulations.
Thanks.
Look forward to doing another show with you, man.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. You stay right there, folks. We're going to be coming right back. Dow Industrials right now, where is she? She's out there growling and prowling. We're going to be right back, folks. You stay right there.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls. Now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow is up 168. You get the Nasdaq up 56. S&Ps are up 20. And, when we take a look at some of the equities that are up versus the equities that are down, the same phenomena is taking place here, which is pretty wild. You have Valiant up $9. That's up 3.6%. Canadian Pacific's up $6. You get what is really wild here is that with gold getting smoked, these are the leaders too. You get Franco-Nevada up $1.84, which is 2.9%. You get an Eagle up $2, which is 5.6%. Now, watching the way down though, the way down is vicious. You got LinkedIn down $47 on 19%. Athena Health is down $8.50, down 7%. Constant Contact is down $7.60 or 21%. Cooper Tire and Rubber is down $5.50 at 13%. Liberty Tax is down $5 at 18%. You're talking monster numbers, folks. It's pretty amazing, actually. If we bring up Constant Contact first and take a look at this, I want to show you something. CTCT. And these are all about high volume lows versus high volume highs, folks. And when you take a look at this, this little baby, fell out of bed in an extraordinary way. Yesterday, this is trading out at $35. Opens this morning at 27, and it's trading at 25 right now. 27 right now, rather. If we take a look at this and you pull this back, what you're going to see is that the last time that it had any juice, number one, was March 10th. March 10th was the high volume swing low. That was at $35. But what it also had, the last time that it had any volume whatsoever, if you put this on a weekly, what you're going to see, what blows my mind, man, is that how they can go right to these price points. And, man, they just don't mess around when they go to these price points. They go to the price point. In this particular case, what you're going to see is that it's not only at the price point, and the price point we're talking about is the high volume swing low, which was established on April of 2014. That high volume swing low is $25. Okay, it's $21.14. You did 7.5 million there. Well, this week we've already done 6.3 million. Bottom line, you're coming into that price point with what? You're coming into that price point with monster volume. So these high volume swing points, folks, are crucial to keep your head wrapped around in a big way. Now, let's go over to the gold contract. So first I'm going to do the GLD, because what the GLD was showing out here is that the GLD is still in a complex ABC structure on the way up. This is what's pretty wild. And what it is this. The GLD right now is trading at a price point of 112.80. That level there, okay, yesterday we had it come down at 9.4 million shares. We're going into the strength that it had, and that strength that it had as it came off the bottom on March 18th had 12.4 million. Well, today we did 4.9. We rejected that level. The high of that level is 12.87. Right now with 112.79. It'd be great to be at 87. So we'll see if we can get 87. But you can see that at this particular point, you've come into that low, into that high of the low, rather, with dramatically lighter volume, and we've just about rejected the level. Now, that is on the daily. Now, watch what happens when you put this on the weekly, and this is where it's really cool. When you take these and put them on the weekly, what you actually have is that you have volume of 37 million shares going into the swing point of 22 million shares. We made it into 116.62 this week. The high last swing point was 117. So what that was really doing is it's pushing into that level with volume. And if you want to see something, this is where this is really getting wild. We go over to Franco-Nevada. Now, Franco-Nevada is a royalty company. Bottom line, it likes to trade with the price of gold. If we take a look at Franco-Nevada and we put this first on a daily, what you're going to see with gold getting whacked, Franco-Nevada is taking out all its swing points today. And it's taking them out with volume. This is pretty wild, actually. We've done 860,000 shares right now. The swing point only had 890 shares. That's on the daily. When you put this on the weekly, your mind will really get blown, because on the weekly what's going on is that she is also moving with force, with wide price spread, with accelerated volume, even with the gold contract down. You know, so what does that set up? Well, guess what? That sets up higher equity prices in the metals market, higher gold prices. Let's go take a look at the British pound out here. So let's see. BPM5. One of our targets want to look at this British pound. Now, the way the BPM5, okay, BPM5. So the pound has come off the lows. The pound's at 151 right now. So we came from 145. Let me put this on a daily for a second. So you came off the lows on the 13th of April, 145. You go topside at 154, and you have some nice juice behind the move, okay? We had volume going all the way up to that 154. You're pulling back today with lighter volume. If you're setting up a buy in this, I'd set up the buy somewhere about 150. Oh, interesting, 151.45, it's at it. 150 would be a better deal, I guess. Around 150 would be the buy. But this is telling me that this is building cause to get up and over the 155 area. That's how it seems to be setting up. So these currency moves, folks, you're going to see a lot more currency moves big time too. The reason being is that what you do have is that you have the aspect, I think the longer term, we have a longer term change of trend in the US dollar. Now, let's go over to the bond market. We'll take a look at the TLT. The bond market is really intriguing. Why? Because we've been in a bull market in bonds, folks, since 1980. 1980, yes, 1980. And the highs that were established, the high in the bond market is January 30th. We came off that high, and what happened is this. We came off that high twice with volume. We go back topside. The last time the bonds had any real juice on the top side was the first time that we had a counter trend bounce, which was March 18th. You know, there's some juice in it. That being said, it had tested that March 18th level 3 different times with dramatically lighter volume. Then what ends up happening on the 22nd rather, of April, it comes off the high once again with volume. You go up with lighter volume to the 27th, you pull back down with volume. So what does that set up? That sets up, I suspect, a much larger retracement in the bond market. That's the first part. The second part is actually even neater, because the way that we did come down on March 6th, that should put a bounce in the bond market. And what's going to be really cool is this. As it bounces, if we bounce and we bounce on lighter volume, it's going to set up a very large ABC structure on the way down. But what it also does, it gives you more information that more than likely the probability is much higher that we do have a change of trend. Now, that's the technical setup. The fundamental setup is pretty clean also. The fundamental setup is that the Federal Reserve wants to go up on rates. They're having a hard time, and I don't expect they're going to go up on rates. Hey, it might be December of this year. It might be next year. Bottom line, they're going to have a hard time going up on rates when you still have Europe in negative rates. But the bottom line is what? Is that rates are going to go up from 0. It's Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're like me, you see the world's emerging nations as a very real opportunity, as these countries and their economies are developing right before our eyes. And you can rest assured that Everbank has spotted this opportunity too. In fact, they just recently unveiled the new 5-year market-safe Future Economy CD. This is a CD that could really deliver, but you only have until May 7th to take advantage. Consider the facts. If the future economy's currencies beat the US dollar over the CD term, you'll get all the upside. And should they lose, no worries. There's zero downside risk here, as you still get back 100% of your deposited principal. Intrigued yet? The May 7th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund is currently offering 4-year first mortgages on many of the fully renovated properties that it has purchased. The first mortgages are third-party appraised with a maximum loan-to-value ratio of 70%, providing a secured investment that pays a fixed return of 5% annually, which works out to a monthly income of more than $416 per $100,000 investment with your principal intact and secured. These 4-year first mortgages are perfect for anyone looking for a secured investment that provides monthly income much like a CD. For more information, email tigerfund@tfnn.com or click on the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund banner along the right side of the tfnn.com homepage, or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. There's a limited supply, so act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now is up 157. They get the NASDAQ up 54. S&Ps are up 19. And don't forget, folks, all the programming at TFNN, get it right on your cell phone. TFNN.mobi. You put that in your browser. We do live programming 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 in the evening every trading day. John Logan kicks us off, and it's an outstanding programming each and every day. If you want to get Tiger TV, folks, just go to TFNN.com on your phone. You'll see the mobile box on the side. Hit that, and you're off to the races. Now, this morning what you had is that you had, well, yesterday actually, it was Tesla, TSLA. Tesla came out, bottom line, they're going to have battery packs, and those battery packs are going to be for the home, our man, Mr. Dave White, myself, we've been talking about Tesla. There's no doubt, folks, is basically a battery company. That's how this thing's going to shake out in a big way. And it was pretty smart that the amount of bread that it can put in, meaning the glamour of the car, the whole ball of wax, which is an awesome car. It's absolutely an awesome car. But the bottom line is, I suspect over the course of years, Musk is going to change the electricity business probably in the whole world, never mind just the United States. What you will happen, the electric utilities, you're going to see fights in states beyond belief, folks, okay, because this is going to be a big one. So right now, the batteries, they're expensive. You get 10 kilowatt for like $3,500. That being said, though, I just saw one of the tigers in the den. He was saying that the CEO of Generac, okay, which is an outstanding product, he's just on CNBC basically defending his company, which he has to get out there and defend his company. There's no two ways about that. Now, if he was let's see, RC, if Generac CEO was a technical guy, what he'd understand, so Generac has just gone, in the last 2 days from 46 to 40. So it's a big hit, right? But I want to show you something out here, okay? What do you think it has? Well, Generac has a high volume low that has been hanging out here since November 6th. That's what it's going after right now, okay? You talk about like a sore thumb sticking out. This thing was sticking out in an extraordinary way. So whatever happened on the 6th of November, that baby comes tumbling down. Does 6.9 million shares. Now watch this. It goes from a price point of $38, does a counter trend bounce all the way up to $50. That's a big number, right? Almost 12. Yeah, that's 32%. It goes up. What does it do? Falls out of bed, comes back. It's going into this high volume low. Now, as it's going into this high volume low, and we put this up on a longer basis, this company's going to have some problems technically. I suspect they're not going to have problems competing with Tesla right now, because the difference is pretty extraordinary of where Tesla is with batteries versus what this company actually does. This company, folks, you hook it up to natural gas, and any basically outage, this thing will go forever, just about, as long as you have the natural gas. That being said, what you do have set up here, this may be a very large ABC structure on the way down. 62 is your A and 38 is your B. So it's a big number. You're talking, what, $44. Your C is 50. So that's an $8 deal. That'd be like sick. Where this, I suspect, will go, however, that being said and done, is $30. $30 is the next stop down. So this thing has some juice on the way down, and that will be like almost a round trip. The thing that's scary is that, and this is always pay attention to this when equities turn, folks. This has a monster gap that is open from $22 October of 2012 all the way up to $28. Gaps like that don't stay open. They can stay open for years, but this is what ends up happening. When the market turns and the equity turns, right, they head for the gaps. That's what they do. That's the bottom line. They head for the gap. So I expect, bottom line, what you're going to see is that there's going to be more grief on the way down as this equity comes into those levels. It's a big number. There's no two ways about it. It's a very large number. We go up and we take a look at the, let's go bisect and dissect the dollar. We were talking about the dollar a little bit earlier when Tom had put that trade on. And if we take a look at this dollar, this is what you have happening out here. The dollar index itself, okay? Let's say DX. So, put this on a daily. The dollar index has come off the high of 100.78. When that was up at that high, folks, that had done a 1 to 2 ABC structure on the way up. Now, it's come off those levels. Each and every time as it's come off those levels, you got monster volume on the way down. In fact, this week, we broke all the swing points on the dailies and on the weeklies with volume. So what does that set up? Well, what you have is that the dollar on the way up had traded at this 95 price point from January 23rd over to February 26th. That's going to provide a little bit of support for them, but that's about it. Because of the way the dollar went up, meaning the dollar goes up that quick, when the dollar's breaking down, that's exactly what happens, is that there's nothing underneath the dollar at this particular point to save the dollar, to give the dollar some strength in order to basically get into higher price. So that setup in itself, what does it do? Well, it throws a huge amount of volatility into currencies. And you can see from the earnings numbers, it's really wild. The larger companies from the earnings numbers, they're blaming the strong dollar on everything. We'll watch and see what they blame next quarter when the equities continue to make or go down, and they can't blame the strong dollar, because by that particular point, it's going to be not a weak dollar. The dollar just has been on such an incredible run that what you can expect, even if this is a natural retracement in a market that wants to go higher, you got to remember something, that the dollar a year ago was at 78. So the dollar went from 78 to 100. That is a monster move for currency, folks. You're talking about 22 points. You're talking about a 23% move. And a currency, 23%. So what do you have? Bottom line, I expect that you're going to come back to at least about the 88 level. We're at 95. And what would that do? Well, some of the large multinationals, where the next problem may be, is that they may have hedged their dollar exposure right when they shouldn't have. And a hedge on that dollar exposure right when they shouldn't have, of course, means what? Meaning that they were buying the dollar, and in fact, because the dollar is going down, all that does is put them into a loss as that baby is coming down. Some of the high-volume stocks in a low-volume market today, and that's what we have. You have Apple up $3, Twitter's down $1. You got Gilead Sciences up $4.73. LinkedIn's the big number. That's down 48. In fact, let's go look at the IBB, because the IBB had come off the highs with monster volume. The IBB is trading at 343, and this is absolutely a dead cat bounce. The IBB came down yesterday with 3.5 million shares. You're bouncing today with 2 million. We take a look at this and we put this on a weekly. Oh, check this out. On a weekly, this is nasty, man. Woo. So on a weekly basis, folks, and this is the second time we're down like this too. On the weekly basis, what you have, let's put this up. Okay, so on a weekly basis, we're off the highs with 16 million shares. Last time we were off the highs with 17 million, that was the correction that came in on the month, the week rather. Well, yeah, the week. This is the first correction that we came off of. The week of March 20th was at 374. The following week we were at 333. We got all the way back up to 368 last week. Gave it up, goes all the way down to 330 this week with monster volume. Now, what has it also done? What it's also done, folks, is that it's broken the uptrend with conviction. And what's sticking out like a sore thumb, man, I'm telling you, one after the other after the other. You're talking about an October 15th swing low. Now, this is what's really bizarre, so check this out. The October 15th swing low has 13.3 million shares. That was a high volume low. It still is. It's going to get tested. However, that being said, what do you have? Now we get volume off the high. You get 17.2 million. You go test that with 6.5 million. You come down again with 16.7 million. Setup is basically there to what? To come down with force. And the biotechs, folks, are all about, in fact, if you go look at Biogen, I just pulled Biogen up. If you take a look at Biogen, there's probably a lot of them that are set up like that. These are small ABC structures on the way down. Biogen today is bouncing up $11, 2 million shares. That's after coming down with 4.9 million shares. You take a look at that on the weekly, and on the weekly, what you also have is that you're coming into where it had strength. It had strength the week of January 30th. You had gone up from 345 to 397 with 10 million shares. Now you're coming into that level, guess what, with 16 million. See ya. Don't want to be up. Stay right there, folks. Coming right back. Dow Industrials are up 162. Nasdaq's up 57. S&Ps are up 20. We're going to be right back.
Basil Chapman has just announced 2 live workshops that he'll be hosting April 28th and May 5th that only subscribers to his opening call will gain access to. On April 28th, Basil will host a 45-minute live online workshop, The Essentials of the Chapman Wave, where he'll teach the basics of the Chapman Wave notation that Basil created and uses daily in his trading and newsletter recommendations. On May 5th, Basil will host a second 45-minute workshop where this time he'll revisit the 1929 market comparison webinar and provide his attendees with an updated take on the socio-economic trends Basil has spotted currently taking place. If you're an opening call subscriber already, then your seat is already reserved. If not, then sign up for a 30-day free trial to the opening call today. You get a month of Basil's daily newsletter, The Opening Call, along with 2 live workshops coming up. Don't miss out on this offer. Sign up for Basil Chapman's Opening Call newsletter today on the front page of TFNN.com.
Do you know the 7 most critical factors that influence every decision you make, and how not knowing these will jeopardize the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve? I'm Steve Rhodes, morning host of TFNN.com, and for the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets of human growth, the same formulas used by leaders of nations, billionaires and millionaires, and the most successful athletes on the planet. Would you like to break through any obstacle that gets in between you and the success you deserve? Would you like to turn fear into strength? If you could find a way to achieve, be fulfilled, and live a life of meaning, wouldn't you want to know the answer? I'll teach you the factors that control your state of mind and the drivers that impact every thought, emotion, behavior, and action we take in my new webinar, The Psychology of Trading. Join me for this 2-part online event where I'll unveil the secrets to human pattern recognition, because they're not what you think. And soon, you'll have the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on The Psychology of Trading to begin your journey now.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now is up 169. Nasdaq's up 61. S&Ps are up 21 percentage-wise. What you have is that the Dow is up 0.9%. Nasdaq's up 1.2, and the S&Ps are up 0.9. Volume is going to come in anemic, folks. Correlation-wise, what you're going to see is this. Inside the SPY, the SPY right now is doing 82 million shares. That's after coming down with a 161 million. That is on your daily. On the weekly, what you're going to have is really a toss-up. The weekly's not bad. You know, it's just under the lows. So bottom line is that you haven't gone south yet on the weeklies. Daily on the Nasdaq QQQ, you come down yesterday with 44 million. You're going up with 28, and the IWM is basically in IWM's in tough shape. They took the IWM apart. The IWM came down yesterday with 73 million. You're going up today with 38 million. That's on your daily. And the IWM on the weekly is absolutely different also. They come down big. IWM's down with 205 million shares. Not as big as New Jersey. New Jersey, folks, no doubt is notorious for corruption. I guess just about all our states are notorious for corruption. But bottom line is that this bridge scandal, this thing, you'll see it over the weekend. It's going to blow wide open. What you had out here is that you had David Wildstein, who was one of the Christie's former allies of Christie. He pleaded guilty today, but they're all rolling over. The bottom line is that he pleaded guilty. This was to the closing of the bridge for revenge against a mayor on the other side of the bridge. Bottom line, Bridget Kelly, Bill Baroni, they got indicted today. They're all going to be rolling, folks. They're going to be rolling. And the guy that pleaded guilty today, his quote outside of the courthouse was this, okay? Well, he didn't implicate Christie. His lawyer outside the courthouse said, evidence exists that the Republican governor knew of the plot as it took place. And of course we'll see how this shakes out. But bottom line, you can expect the roll to go over in an extraordinary way. And we'll see whether Christie ends up being a governor, never mind being a president. So it's that politics, man, is so vicious. It is unbelievable. And yes, they're all singing. They're all tweeting. The sickest part is that once the roll starts, let me tell you something, man. This roll is going to be extraordinary, no doubt. And we'll see where it goes, because what does happen politically, I mean, they have, you're talking large powers, and when those large powers roll, they're all little babies. That's what it comes down to. We'll see how the volume comes in. The NYSE volume, folks, is absolutely anemic. I suspect the NYSE is going to come in about 650, 700 million shares. We did 1 billion shares on the way down yesterday. And to do 1 billion shares on the NYSE, the only other time that we've done over that billion mark, folks, is either option expiration or when they're basically changing the indices, okay? Big numbers. On the NASDAQ composite, we did 2.2 billion, and that 2.2 billion, we've done a few other times in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ can basically push that kind of volume into it. The NASDAQ on the way up today will do about 1.8. The small caps, though, the small caps are the number. Small caps are the number, but what you absolutely have is that on the S&P, even with this bounce right now, what you're going to see is that the S&P on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. Now, this is what, well, let's see if I get the monthly basis. Yeah, even on the monthly basis. What you have is this. You have that it's broken down, and it's broken the trend, and it hasn't been able to get back inside the trend. Now, that break, this is what is really bizarre. The October 15th swing low, which I've been talking about quite a bit, that wants to get hit. But you can make a much larger case, because the beginning of this trend started, and because the trend was so extraordinary, well, technically, when you break a trend and you break it with conviction, you go back to the beginning of that trend. Now that would be a lot of heat, and that would be pretty intense. So, you know, we'll see where that shakes out. Where we will get the evidence and the information is how we get into the October 15th swing level. And so watch this on a monthly basis. When you dissect and bisect this, on a monthly basis, we're only 90 points away from the highs of the month of October, where it's the October swing, high volume swing low. So that's important also, and this is why. Because that whole month, well, let me see what we'll put this up right now. That whole month, I suspect, is going to be a higher volume month. So what does happen there is that October, there she is. Yeah, cool. Okay, so here you go. So what you have is this. Let me put this back over here so you can see this, because this is pretty cool. So for all you bulls, your saving grace could be the 201 area. I don't expect, you know, we'll see where it shakes out. And this is why. When I was talking about highs and lows, because we had high volume there, on the way down, that's going to be hard to break. We'll see how it works. I suspect we're going to the bottom. And why? Well, because so many equities, folks, have already crushed the top of the October swing point, goes right to the bottom of it, including huge multi-caps that you know. I mean, Google basically took it apart. They took apart its October 15th swing low. It wasn't even thinking about it. It just blasted it out. Gets above it again, but bottom line, it's teetering. That October 15th swing low was 519, and we got down to 543. Right now, you're at 550. That looks like we're still inside that, and it looks like, you know, more than likely it's going to build some cause to try to get down into those lower levels once again. Small caps, big problems with small caps. Oil, let's go to the oil market, because oil has had a heck of a run. Oil out here today, yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to stop just yet either. So we're at 59.28. Volume was light today, but it wouldn't back down. You know, we only did 218,000 contracts. That's light, big time. But oil would have to get back under 57.92. See, a dead cat bounce in oil can bring it right up to the gap, which is like $66, which would be a total mind blower. But that's the way that baby is set up. If we go take a look at the XLE, the XLE is almost out of juice. The XLE right now is trading out at 82.85. Bottom line, you're coming into that gap up there. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're going to be coming right back with the closing numbers, of course. Our man, Mr. Dave White. We're going to be talking, first segment, we're going to be talking markets. Second segment, we're going to be talking technology. Dow Industrials are up 178. NASDAQ up 63. S&P's up 22. We're going to be right back, folks.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Let's go to Nick in Tampa. Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Tom O'Brien, it is an absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much, man. We appreciate you calling.
No problem. Dude, I've been listening to your show for about 2 years now, and it has just been wonderful. I listen to you, Basil, Andy. You guys do an amazing job.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF. Have to love it, right? Have to love it, man. And hey, folks, in Florida, check this out. Dave just come in. I said, well, maybe go out down on the beach tomorrow. He says it's going to be 55 in the morning. That's going to be cool. So we'll be like 65 here.
Yeah, something like that.
That's freezing for us. We're little babies.
We've been down here with 87 and 92 with 80% humidity for a month. And yeah, we're already used to boiling summer.
I like it, man. I like it. This quote is by Walt Anderson. Believe in something big, your life is worth a noble effort. Motive, rather. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 183, NASDAQ up 63, S&P's up 22. Gold contract down $5.90, trading at $1,176 an ounce. Silver flat at $16.14 an ounce. Platinum down 14 at $1,131 an ounce. Copper up 4 pennies at $2.93 a pound. Light sweet crude off 33 cents at $59.30 a barrel. Bonds get smoked again. The difference is they went into the swing of yesterday with lighter volume, and that's what they had to do. They're going into the March 6th high volume spike. 10-year came down 16 ticks, 127.27. 30-year came down 2 points, 157.23. And King Dollar up 551 ticks at 95.26. The euro is at 112, and the yen's trading up 77 at 120.14. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, in the world of the S&Ps, folks, check it out. So, it's going to be deviant in an extraordinary way. There's no doubt about it, right? You're down, give it 2 seconds, it bounces back, right? But guess what? We got 93 million shares on the way up, folks. You got 161 on the way down. That's in the daily. Now, what does happen is on the weeklies, the market really hasn't done anything, you know? And this is where this gets, you know, it's like the bull can turn around and say, hey, we're still at the same spot, right? The bear can say, I'd say, as a bear, yeah, we're still at the same spot. What I do dig, though, however, is when we go over to the small caps, because the small caps are screaming, folks. And the small caps out here today couldn't get out of their way. Now, and
no love for them. No hugs, no loves, not even a hi, nothing.
What do you call it on your show? What are you? You're a lovable, squeezable bear, right? so there was none of that today in the small caps.
There was none of that. They were just, you just saw those things, and they didn't go down, but they didn't go up.
No, they didn't. And this is what you also have, folks. So we went sideways. So let's say we went up 79 cents. You went up with 43 million. You came down yesterday with 72. So that's an ABC in the making, very probably. But on the weekly, that's where the small caps are screaming, where the S&P and the NASDAQ is not. That is screaming. It broke the whole trend, and it broke it with volume. So, you know, the difference in the S&P, you can't, you know, I can say that, yeah, October 15th wants to go, but guess what? It hasn't croaked yet. The small caps are saying they want to go to 104. I mean, it broke everything and didn't get back inside the range, you know. Gold contract. What do we have with gold? Bottom line, everyone hates gold, including David. That's all right. No problem.
I want everybody else to hate it, though.
I know. That's right. That's right. So what do we do out here? Bottom line, you're at 1176. You came down with 111,000 contracts, and this is a total mind blower, folks, because this is what always blows my mind about technically what ends up happening, is that I needed a close. So you have the swing point, folks. Your swing point is at 1174. Now it broke that swing with lighter volume, and you can make the argument as long as it closes inside of that, that'd be all right. But I wasn't making that argument because I wanted it to close inside of the low of yesterday. The reason being is that what I've found is that if you have volume come out of equities, currencies, anything, before you get to the swing, it loses its energy at the swing. And the swing is where everything talks, walks, and squawks. So what I like to see is exactly what happened here. We broke the swing. We did it on lighter volume, but then we closed inside the low of yesterday. And we did it by 40 cents.
The one thing that really kind of bothers me is the kind of break from the correlation it's had forever with the dollar. Have you ever figured out why it's done that? And is what's going to eventually, I would say that for all history, it's kind of traded that way. What would make it go back and start trading with the dollar
No,
again?
I think it is trading with the dollar. I agree. I agree with you. What you're saying. There is no doubt that it has broke with the dollar. When I'm saying that I think it's trading with the dollar, this is where the deviance in the market comes. Okay, that what blows my mind is that when the dollar got up to 100, that gold wasn't down to 1,000. Right. It's like, oh man, what's going on?
It did hold up well.
It held up. and held up. Now, when you watch this, folks, this is what's really bizarre. If we go over to FNV, what you're going to see with the dollar toasted, I mean, with gold toasted. I mean, gold this week went from, 12.14 down to 11.76. Well, guess what? FNV turned around and broke all its swing points higher today with volume. And this FNV is one of the best indicators of where physical gold is going, because Franco-Nevada is a royalty stock. So as a royalty stock, folks, they only get paid on the aspect of the gross price of gold, which is really cool. They only have 26 employees, but yet they take in $500 million.
So there's them, and there's Rheingold,
and there's
right?
Royal Gold.
Oh, Royal.
Rheingold, we're going to pull up Rheingold too, because what happens with Rheingold is that Rheingold, RGLD, Rheingold, I would say, is the best gold company in the world.
Okay.
That guy really knows what he's doing. Royal Gold didn't act as good as Franco-Nevada, but it certainly went up $1.40 when gold was down. Now, if we go over to Rheingold, which is Rheingold Resources, the symbol GOLD, that little baby released a huge amount of information. And watch the information. What you do, on Wednesday, we're at 78.90. You're up there with 1 million shares. We back down today with 400,000 shares. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, it's like, man, guess what? You're building cars. That's on the daily. We put this on the weekly, and what you're going to see on the weekly, and this is the one I really like, because this is about as deviant as you can get. When you put it on the weekly, look at the expansion of volume we had. The expansion of volume, folks, we did 3.8 million shares. Last little point out here was 3.5. You're going into 5. Okay, so that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to basically get over the downdraft that was created, but that's a nice way of doing it. You get up.
If you were going to do a pairs trade,
yeah,
and you wanted to pick the strongest stock, the one you say that you like the best, Franco-Nevada,
okay,
what would be the ugliest one you'd put on the opposite side of it?
It's probably already too low. It's probably
it's already gone.
Yeah,
Ross.
It's Ken Ross.
Yeah, okay.
You know what's sad about this, KGC? The thing that's amazing, folks, is that if I went back in the archives and got, which I have just about almost every show there is. You go back and this is the stocks. This is all about Russia.
Yeah,
it's all about Russia. It's all about Putin. It's all about. They've invested so much money, and they're going to get taken to the cleaners and bad management in a huge way. Look at this. This is a $2 stock, and they take in $3.5 billion, but it costs them more than that to do business.
Are there others you would consider for a pairs trade to go short?
In the gold market?
Go short a stinker and go long a really good gold stock? No?
I'd have to think about that.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
What would end up happening is that I have to think that through, because where I'd go with that, I would go with something that's technically weak.
Yeah.
Then I would go with one of the countries that I think could really be a problem.
Like Russia.
Oh, well, Russia for sure. Russia's a no-brainer.
Russia, Venezuela, or anybody that's going to take a mine.
Someone's doing business in Russia, they're going to take, And what happens in the gold business, and this is what's really wild, and this is why, see, Putin will let you in, because it takes like 10 years to build a mine. It's not like oil. Oil is 60 days, you're drilling, you're up, and okay? So he'll take all your money. Oh, yeah, drill it. I'm saying it's a great contract for you, Dave. Here you go. And then when the gold starts coming out, guess what? It's over. Well, here, I'll tell you one that, I've owned a few times, but this is a problem too, and it's because of Greece. El Dorado. So El Dorado, folks, has a mine in Greece that just could make a fortune. But the problem is that they just might decide that they need that money, So it's going to be wild. You stay right there, folks. Dave and I will be coming right back.
If you're like me, you see the world's emerging nations as a very real opportunity, as these countries and their economies are developing right before our eyes. And you can rest assured that Everbank has spotted this opportunity too. In fact, they just recently unveiled the new 5-year market-safe Future Economy CD. This is a CD that could really deliver, but you only have until May 7th to take advantage. Consider the facts. If the Future Economy's currencies beat the US dollar over the CD term, you'll get all the upside. And should they lose, no worries. There's zero downside risk here, as you still get back 100% of your deposited principal. Intrigued yet? The May 7th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Don't forget, folks, Dave does an outstanding show every trading day right here at TFNN, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. Get the program right on your cell phone, TFNN.mobi. Okay, so the first slide we're looking at is Microsoft expects 1 billion Windows 10 devices. 1 billion.
In 2 to 3 years.
Really?
They've got about 450 million people right now using Windows every day on a desktop or a laptop. Right. They've got almost no phones out there, but they're wanting to change that. What really I should lead into is we're now getting into the season where all the developer conventions are going to happen for Google, for Facebook, for all these guys.
And you're a Microsoft developer, right?
Right.
Exactly. So what do they show at these? Everything that's coming out, because they want developers to develop their product before it comes out, right?
Right. Now, this is a little different in the fact that they've had a lot of this stuff out and been getting feedback from the developers.
Okay.
So basically, at this point, they're basically saying this is what we're going to ship.
Right.
And we've gotten down to the end of it here. But Nadella, who's the new CEO, has, I would say, in fact, I said it in my newsletter today, a bigger turnaround than Patton moving 100 yards, 100 miles in one night to go fight the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
This guy has literally turned around everything in the country, in the company, and you can tell the employees are jazzed.
Right.
There's a lot of neat stuff's happening.
Wow.
But this is all about what they plan to do in the future, which is Windows 10. Windows 10 will be out late this summer.
Okay.
It will be a free upgrade to anybody that has Windows 7, Windows 8.1, or any of the newer ones. If you don't have a machine, it will cost you to get a license. But if you've got a semi-current machine, it should run Windows 10 without getting additional hardware, and it should be free for the first year. This is moving them into the subscription.
That's smart.
Right. Now, for a little while, they're going to have some issues because they're not going to be selling a brand new operating system to a lot of folks. But there's going to be two things. One, any device below $300 gets the operating system free from a new OEM.
Okay.
Above that, you'll have to pay the regular price if it's a new machine. So if you're buying a fast i7 core machine, you're probably going to be paying for the operating system when you buy a new machine. But the whole idea about this is they've got a thing called Continuum, which is literally you'll run the same app on your phone, on a tablet, on a dual tablet.
That's what Apple does now, and right? I mean,
well, no, because they don't even have a touch computer.
Okay.
Their Macs are not touch at all, right?
Okay.
Literally, you would have the same interface and be able to run the same, what they're calling universal apps, from a phone to a tablet to a laptop to a desktop to a 108-inch screen running, which
anything
they do
you
have.
want, right? Yeah.
The operating system scales all the way through small devices to large devices, from ones that have very tiny processors, like in phones, to the ones that have mammoth Xenon processors that run big systems, right, and servers. So it is going to be basically a thing that you can, if you need to, write an app that basically runs on everything. Now, they've got an app store that they're really rolling out in 8.1, but it's really come together in 10. And that is, if you buy something for the phone, it just shows up on your tablet, on your laptop, on your home machine. You don't have to do anything. It just automatically downloads it.
And is this mostly subscription-based, too?
The apps? Yeah. No, they're going to be like the $2, $3 apps before.
Okay.
So what's really going on behind the scenes is everything's going to be new, and they want to push everybody into a operating system, not get stuck like Windows 98 with people using it for 15 years without ever upgrading it. This is going to be upgraded probably every 3 to 6 months with new features. Now,
see, you know what's so cool about that? And folks, if you haven't test drove Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, come over to our website and test drive it. It's an amazing trading system. And that's what they do.
Right.
And that's what they've always done.
They've always pushed out the latest greatest.
And what happens is that you can't even, when you sign on, bottom line, you have to hit the button first to upgrade it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like,
you don't get stuck in the past.
No, you don't. And then what I never realized, except, you know, the last couple of years, is understanding people don't like to upgrade, right? It's not that. Yeah, they like using what they're using, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's called the baby duck syndrome.
Okay.
And that was pushed by a guy that was named Trip Hawkins that run Electronic Arts in the mid-'80s.
Okay.
But he was one of the guys that worked for Apple, too. And they all knew one thing, which is the hardest thing to do is get to somebody to do something different once they get set in their ways.
That's the truth, man.
And so they always wanted to set it.
I'm an animal of habit beyond belief,
but
man.
they say it's actually called the baby duck syndrome.
Okay.
Whatever you see first is your mother.
Right.
And it's hard.
That's it.
If you're the first.
That's all we still like blankets.
Yeah. If you're the first company with a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And everybody learns the way you do it.
Right.
It's incredibly hard to get somebody to move to another one that does and works incredibly different the other way, right?
Right.
So they're going to try to get everybody in this by
That
making it free for the first year,
Right.
and then going to subscription. Now their Office has been a wild success. And even though their sales weren't good, they popped on earnings last time because they did so well with Office and the 365 yearly. In fact, I've got to pay $100 to upgrade here in another 2 weeks.
Well, you know, it's funny. We use Office on subscription, and then we also use the accounting software from Intuit on subscription, and it's great.
As long as they are adding value all the time for you, it's fine. Now, there are several things that are new out there. One I talked about was Continuum, which is even if you can literally move your app from your phone to your tablet or to your big screen, right? So if you're in the middle of doing something, you just kind of swipe it off, and it goes to the bigger device out there. And as it goes to the bigger device, it then knows that you've got a keyboard and a mouse. It knows whether you've got a touch screen. It knows if you went back to the phone. So the one app transforms all the different ways that you can use a computer from the phone all the way up to a big screen.
And this will be out when?
It's going to be released to manufacturing in July, probably available mid-August, I would assume.
It's a big number, man.
Right. Now, here's the things that really make Windows 10 worth it. One is called Cortana.
Okay.
And it's Siri, like on the phone.
Yes.
Except it's built into all the apps as a developer.
So you can talk to it.
Right. And you can have it do all kinds of stuff. Now, the demos were killer. You can go online and find them. But from anything like just basically, if you want to use Cortana, you do one thing. You go, hey, Cortana, and Cortana answers, and then you go back in, right? And but it'll, find so-and-so and call them, right? And it will go, okay, and it will disambiguate. Maybe if you have 5 Johns, and you'll say, okay, call John, right? And it'll say, are you talking John, whatever. But most of the time, you'll say, I want to talk to John at TFNN.
Right.
It'll go through. It is machine learning. It'll know who you call most of the time.
Right.
It'll figure it out. But that part where Siri will answer what you do, Cortana records it like Google, and they know, and it gets smarter all the time you use it, right?
I like it.
So that's part of it. They've got a new browser, and we'll talk about that when we come back, I guess.
Stay right there, folks. Dave and I are coming right back. The Dow finished up 183, NASDAQ up 63, S&P's up 22. Gonna be right back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Basil Chapman has just announced 2 live workshops that he'll be hosting April 28th and May 5th that only subscribers to his opening call will gain access to. On April 28th, Basil will host a 45-minute live online workshop, The Essentials of the Chapman Wave, where he'll teach the basics of the Chapman Wave notation that Basil created and uses daily in his trading and newsletter recommendations. On May 5th, Basil will host a second 45-minute workshop where this time he'll revisit the 1929 market comparison webinar and provide his attendees with an updated take on the socio-economic trends Basil has spotted currently taking place. If you're an opening call subscriber already, then your seat is already reserved. If not, then sign up for a 30-day free trial to the opening call today. You get a month of Basil's daily newsletter, The Opening Call, along with 2 live workshops coming up. Don't miss out on this offer. Sign up for Basil Chapman's Opening Call newsletter today on the front page of TFNN.com.
Do you know the 7 most critical factors that influence every decision you make and how not knowing these will jeopardize the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve? I'm Steve Rhodes, morning host at TFNN.com, and for the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets of human growth, the same formulas used by leaders of nations, billionaires and millionaires, and the most successful athletes on the planet. Would you like to break through any obstacle that gets in between you and the success you deserve? Would you like to turn fear into strength? If you could find a way to achieve, be fulfilled, and live a life of meaning, wouldn't you want to know the answer? I'll teach you the factors that control your state of mind and the drivers that impact every thought, emotion, behavior, and action we take in my new webinar, The Psychology of Trading. Join me for this two-part online event where I'll unveil the secrets to human pattern recognition, because they're not what you think. And soon, you'll have the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on The Psychology of Trading to begin your journey now.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund is currently offering 4-year first mortgages on many of the fully renovated properties that it has purchased. The first mortgages are third-party appraised with a maximum loan-to-value ratio of 70%, providing a secured investment that pays a fixed return of 5% annually, which works out to a monthly income of more than $416 per $100,000 investment with your principal intact and secured. These 4-year first mortgages are perfect for anyone looking for a secured investment that provides monthly income much like a CD. For more information, email tigerfund@tfnn.com or click on the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund banner along the right side of the tfnn.com homepage, or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. There's a limited supply, so act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us. We're talking about the new Windows 10 build. So we have Cortina. Cortina we're going to be talking to, right? Like Siri. Like Siri.
Except as a developer,
a machine developer, yeah,
right. You can I can write a program and integrate it into the program. They've already done all the work.
Okay.
So I plug it in and I start doing work, and their back end will automatically machine learn and tell me things about what the user is doing with my program that I can make and tailor the program's actions to that specific individual. So think about Google, where everything you do is recorded, right?
Yes.
And they start pushing things based on what you do and what you search for.
Right.
How you use a program can be now the exact same thing, right?
Wow.
So there is machine learning is the technical term of that.
Man, we're going into robot land for sure.
It's I always say that children aren't our future, robots are. But the
Edge. What's the Edge?
The Edge is the new name for Windows Explorer. They basically got rid of it all.
Okay.
Edge is all they're calling it, not the Edge or anything else. It's just Edge, right? And kind of tough, but I've got it. It was codename Spartan. I've had it for a while. The big change that they announced this week, that it will use plugins from Chrome or plugins from Firefox or all these other programs, plugins. And I use a ton of plugins for a lot of stuff that I do, for like blocking lots of ads that I don't have to see.
Oh, that's cool.
And making sure that I don't get bugs and viruses.
Why does, what I notice is that sometimes if I use Chrome or if I use Firefox, some programs will work on one of them and others won't.
Right.
Is that how they're written in the software? Some of them just aren't as sophisticated. So
No. Basically, there is a defined language for the internet.
Okay.
But that language has to be interpreted by the browser.
Okay.
So a lot of times there's, it's just like anything legal. You go into court, you argue some small point. One guy will argue one way and one guy will argue the next.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly how, this should be bold. And someone takes it just a little bit differently here than maybe over here. So everything renders and looks on the screen maybe a little different on one than a little different on the other, because while they all have the same books and the laws, you start digging into it, you have to interpret what
and so
those
the
are saying.
browser's interpreting it differently.
Right. It's the attorneys and the lawyers trying to figure out what you actually meant when you did that originally.
Right.
And not one of the first things you learn as a programmer is that you're going to have bugs, because you can't program for every single eventuality. You don't know what you don't know yet. Right?
Exactly.
And that is the problem, is when you run into these, what they call edge cases.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why they called it edge, but in programming it's called edge cases, where it doesn't really fit in this category or that category, so you just write some nasty code to kind of take care of it, and then 6 months later something else comes along and you write some more ugly code and a big band-aid and a poultice on it.
When you're saying ugly code, you're doing workarounds, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Kludges, they call them sometimes kludges, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what you end up with is Windows Explorer that hasn't really changed since 1995, that's incredibly slow and bloated and all the horrible stuff. They went back and made this very, very fast so it would work on everything from individual phones all the way up to the fastest browsers. And instead of waiting for all the plugins to come along and be written for it, basically you can already use
what did this guy Nadella? What was his position in Microsoft before that? Do you remember?
He basically ran all the divisions that had to do with servers and putting together for the business side, the enterprise business side, the cloud business part of it. He really was kind of the cloud business kind of guy, and server business.
He's forward looking in an extraordinary way then, yeah. Right.
Yeah, he basically...
You know what's weird about cloud when you think about it is that when you think about it, the old IBM, we were always... That was IBM was the ultimate cloud at the very beginning.
At the beginning it was a cloud, then we went back.
Yeah, then we went to desktops, right?
And now you're back to cloud. It's gone back and forth several times.
So next slide is Blue Origin, and we got a rocket ship taking off, right?
Right. Now this is Jeff Bezos. All these guys have turned into James Bond villains, right? With their rocket ships going out there and doing everything. Well, we've talked about him going out and digging up the engines from the Apollo.
Yes.
Craft.
In the water. Got them on the water.
Got them out here.
Anyone could have got them, right? They were just laying there, right?
They said that they were military and you had to give them back. So if you would have gotten them, the government would have probably snatched them from you.
I'm just saying that you could have got them, and he reversed engineer them. That's why he wanted them, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He said he'd clean them up and give them the Smithsonian, which he did. But he basically got the Atlas booster rocket engines and figured out how they work, because no one had really built anything since 1970, and all the ones that were laying around were basically engineering models that never worked.
Wow.
And that's the reason they never went. So anyway, he basically, this is one of these that's going to be like the one that Musk is pushing, which is going to take off, come back, and land on a pad. So they're all pushing this, but he's actually gotten a lot farther and a lot faster than the rest of the people. I'm not exactly sure why, but he certainly is. But he's going to sell these boosters, for the most part, to other folks that are going to put other things on top of them.
And this is just his private company, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This is just his private company, but this one went up to, I think, what was that, 370,000 kilometers, so 100 and some odd miles or something. Came back down. They tried to land it. But just like the ones Musk have, there's a lot to figuring out how to balance a ball on top of your head and come all the way down and land, right? Which is basically what you're doing.
Sure.
But anyway, this is going to heat up. I imagine we're going to see a lot of these go public next year.
What is he doing this for? To sell booster rockets?
He's going up against Boeing and Lockheed and all these other guys that want to put stuff in space.
So space is the next...
Right. Now, Facebook, Google, all these guys want to put up these satellite, 450 satellites to have internet everywhere around the world.
That makes sense.
And make sure that Comcast and these other guys can't, just like out there in California, can't shut the water off on them, right?
Yeah, right.
Because that is the problem. If you're dependent on Comcast to let people get to your site, you're basically screwed if they decide not to, right?
Totally makes sense. I got it.
Which is the whole reason that net neutrality passed, was they saw Comcast and Time Warner doing some pretty dirty stuff.
Right.
And when they asked, we talked about it last week, when they ask about, well, we're going to have hearings now, the last thing that Comcast, Time Warner, or any of those companies, AT&T, wanted was anybody
being under oath.
Being under oath. That was going to be the end of it. But anyway, I'm looking for a lot of these companies to really go up against the existing bunch from Boeing, and they're doing it faster, cheaper, and smarter. And my guess is that one of these companies is probably going to really displace Boeing, Lockheed in launching big satellites next year. Origin actually is the one that's going to be launching big satellites, and
because what did happen is that for our own booster rockets, the only one we had was
the
Russia.
shuttle. No,
right?
It was a shuttle, yeah.
Well, yeah, for the shuttle, it was a Russian company.
Yeah,
exactly.
We were buying their engines, which literally had been sitting around since 1974. They would have to take those engines, tear them all apart, replace everything in them that was like rubber or wires or anything else, and still launch them. So it's been one of these things where, you know, it was nuts for us to ever depend on the Russians for these things.
Right.
But we had this shuttle going out of service. All this stuff had been planned years before the shuttle had come out. It's just now coming online, right?
Wow. China's Pebble reactors.
Right. Now, we use a reactor design mostly in the United States that could melt down at any certain
Nuclear
point.
reactors we're talking now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason that they can is it's all kind of in one spot. So think of a big field, and you just put a little bit of nuclear material all over that field instead of putting it all in one big pile, right?
Yeah, right.
That's what these Pebble reactors are. They break down the uranium instead of putting them all in big long rods and putting them out. Basically, they put them all out in kind of a big kind of a field, and none of them are close enough to the other that it would ever cause a self-sustaining chain reaction.
Hopefully.
No, literally, it can't happen. So what they are doing, and it's nice because almost everything, the problem with our nuclear reactors was they were all based on chemistry and everything we learned from building bombs, right? Not making a safe nuclear reactor, but building a bomb. So they're close to bombs, right? And this technology has been thought of for 20 years. No one's done it. I think it's a combination of GE and maybe Siemens and a bunch of other companies that have come together, but they're going to start building these. If they're going to build them, much better than having one that could melt down someday like the one in Russia and 7 Mile Island, all that stuff. Still doesn't get rid of the problem with waste, nuclear waste, but much better. Now, the thing is how many of these things that are going to build. And that's what we'll talk about.
China does everything big.
They do it well. They need a lot of power. So we'll talk about that when we come back.
You stay right there, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Dow finished up 183. The Nasdaq up 63. S&P's up 22. We're going to be right back, folks.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar is ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick for tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. I appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Don't forget, folks, every trading day, Dave has a great program, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. Get it right on your cell phone. He also has 2 great newsletters, folks. And the way you can get them, you go over to TFNN, go to newsletters. First one, go to trading newsletters, and you can test drive the Path of Least Resistance. You can test drive that 30 days absolutely free. As you're there, you can go to investment newsletters to get the tech inside. In fact, you can test drive both of them at the same time.
Right.
You know?
So I just
and there's a lot of action in technology these days,
it's
right?
It's massive.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because there's going to be no end for the need for uranium in the near future. These guys China is not building any batteries or solar cells or anything else. They want to be able to flip a switch and know that they can.
This is good to know. So on this type of reactor, you don't need uranium, right? Is that
no, you still use uranium.
You do.
Right.
Okay.
Now this is fission, FISSON, right?
Yeah.
Fusion, FUSSION, is the other kind of reaction. Right. Now that one doesn't have the problem with waste and doesn't have the problem with radiation, right?
Yes.
This one does. So it gets rid of one big problem, which is it's not going to melt down.
Well, that's a good one.
Right. That's a big one. Now you still have to put the waste somewhere. Now in the future, we were talking about it during the break. There are people talking about building fusion reactors, which literally you'd be throwing stuff in one end, nothing would come out the other except a megajoule of power, right?
Wow.
Just enormous amounts of power, like the biggest bombs that we build, out there. That would be the power you're harnessing, but without the radiation. But anyway, huge. China's really going to probably be one of the biggest countries out there going after enriched uranium, which like CCJ, some of the other ones.
Oh yeah,
right.
There's only 3 uranium companies, then no doubt. So bye silicon. You've been talking about this. That
we're getting to the end.
They're never going to rename Silicon Valley. But bottom line is that we have a new substance that they're using, right?
Right. Indium gallium arsenide. Is going to be replaced for what silicon is doing now, and the reason for that is twofold. One is that silicon just won't work at the sizes that they're getting to now.
They want. Okay.
So, well, mostly the sizes. This stuff is just getting so small that
I see.
That it's kind of
it's like a piece of hair, right?
Well, there's quantum effects to getting these things so close. And if you want to think about an effect, just think about two magnets being close to each other, right? Well, those things cause errors and other stuff like that. So you have to start using different chemistry at some point to get around the problems of just field effects, which actually transistors are called, a lot of those. And in fact, these QW are called quantum well effects. So that it'd take an hour and a half to explain it, but basically you can put electrons in a little bottle and they don't go anywhere that they're not supposed to by using these quantum well field effect transistors. But to do it, they have to start using this new chemistry, which is indium gallium arsenide. We had some phone calls, I think, a week or two ago on my daily show about some of the changes in this. But we are seeing silicon pretty much go by. But what we did get this week is Intel's roadmap. And that basically says that they'll be at 10 nanometers. And we're basically talking about late this year, early 2016. They'll be at 7 nanometers at 2017 and 2018. And
so does that mean Moore's Law continues to go, right?
Well, it's 50 years old, is what they say. It's kind of, that's up for grabs on whether it is. But my guess is that, I know Intel is, and others, they're working on photon-based devices in the near future, basically small particles of light instead of electrons. And that's probably, this is going to fade out using electricity and electrons, and we're going to go to using photons for all this stuff. Some of the stuff's already started to work, but my guess is we're probably going to have a lull about 5 years from now, and that lull will have a big thump.
Is photon like electricity?
No, it's light.
It's light. Okay, it's light.
Right. Now, the big difference between, let's say, a particle like an electron.
Yeah.
Electron has mass, has weight.
Okay.
Right, has momentum. Photons only move at the speed of light. They don't have two settings, slow, medium, fast. That's it. They're always moving.
Pretty cool, actually.
They're always moving at the speed of light. Now, they may bounce around a lot, but even the lens and the camera they're viewing us from right now, that's what happens. At the center, the light kind of may pass through, but at the thicker points, it has to bounce around a little, and that light comes out at an angle, right? And that's how it works.
Right.
Right? It slows it down, not literally, but it makes it go through a maze before it can get out the other end, right? So the idea is that truly electrons don't move as fast as we think that they do. And if we go to light-based devices. They'll basically be at the speed of light.
Wow.
And they'll be very, very fast. So that's almost Intel's big R&D in the next couple of years is building these things. And on the other side, what's going to be out in 5 years from now, which is going to be what's known as photonics, which is all about building a sensor that can find one photon or maybe two photons at a time, right? Because it's not going to be like flipping on a flashlight. There's just going to be a couple of these things bouncing around the processor, and it's got to know that it gets one of these photons and, okay, something happened here, right? I turned this on, I turned that off.
Right.
Because it's still going to be all ones and zeros.
Okay.
But it's going to be how few of these photons can we catch and still work? Now, probably the big thing that you will see in what comes out later this year is they're down to half a volt from being to work the processor from being at a volt just a couple of years ago. And when we get to the ones in 2017 and 2018, we'll be working on a quarter of a volt. And of course, that all means that we'll be using a whole lot less electricity. Our phones will last longer. They'll use less power.
And that's always
There'll
been
be
a
less
challenge,
heat.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all a huge
the heat.
challenge.
Well, I remember, even 10 years. Well, remember 10 years ago, the servers I had here, remember how hot it was? Now we're always freezing here, folks. Okay? Pretty amazing, no doubt. So new metals.
Right. South Korea has a new
steel.
Well, it's a new alloy.
Okay.
And I know how big a deal how it changed Ford building its new car,
Sure.
700-pound
Right.
new truck, 700 pounds lighter. South Korea has this new one, and it's 10 times cheaper than titanium. But it has the same strength of titanium, which is about the strongest metal that you can use.
Amazing.
It weighs a little bit more, but you're probably going to hear more about that. Let's go to the outro.
It's a beautiful thing. Listen, folks, thanks for being here. Always remember, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. And whatever you want in life, folks, visualize it like a nice big motion picture. Step into it, take ownership of it, and fly with it. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man. Look forward to speaking to you right here next week, folks. Go get them, folks.